Hi everyone, this is me Shitan. So today we are going to start to study about theory of supply. Okay, so we will see in this theory of supply. So today's our topic is theory of supply. Okay, so today we will cover the concept of supply. What is the difference between supply and quantity supplied? As I told, the difference in the demand and quantity demand. Something like this, but as I talking about supply, so it will relate to supply concept. Okay, and then we will move ahead forward to deal with what is market supply and what is individual supply, and then that after apart from that we will also discuss about market schedule and individual supply schedule. Okay, and also then later we will discuss about the assumptions and law of supply. Okay, so let's do a start with this definition. Let's just start with the definition itself. What is supply? Okay, how we will define the supply concept. So, supply is what? Supply of a commodity refers to a various amount of a commodity. Okay, supply supply of a commodity. Supply of a commodity refers to a various of commodity that the producer that the producers are willing to sell at a different price that commodity at a point of time. So, why at a point of time I am indicating here? Because at a point of time, let's suppose that within 1 year, producer just want to sell out. Producer just want to sell out all the output or commodity that he produced. Okay, so what is supply? Supply of a commodity refers to various amount of commodity or number of commodity when the producer is ready to sell or willing to sell different price. Okay, at different price of the commodity at a point of time, then we can see this is supply. Okay, so there's a little difference between supply and the stock. So just let me tell you supply and a stock. So, what is the difference between supply and stock? Supply basically refers to different quantities of a commodity. Okay, different quantities of a commodity which a producer from Galley is ready to sell at different possible price of that commodity at a point of time. Okay, as written in the definition above, it is same. But talking about the stock refers to total quantity of a commodity available with the producer to the present or future itself. Okay, let's suppose supply that within a particular within a particular period of time, uh, amount of commodity of goods or commodity, as you say, producers willing to sell. Okay, willing to sell. But talking about the stock concept, it is just a, we can say stock refers to total quantity. It is also a total quantity of what? Commodity available with with producers producers for present present or future. Is it so? For present or future sale, then we can say that it refers to stock concepts. Another difference between stock and supply is that supply is a flow concept. Flow concept. Okay, it is measured per unit of time period, and supply is always related to price of the commodity. And on the other hand, supply is always related to price of the commodity. Okay. Now talking about a stock, so stock is not a flow. Stock is not flow concept. It is measured at a point of time. Okay. So now, what is the difference between stock and flow? This questions might be wondering you. Okay. So let me tell you in a brief stock and flow concept. So let's suppose, let's take an example. There is a tub, okay, and also just attached tube. When water is just flowing from the tube, then this refers to flow concept. And when the water is just filled up, when water is just filled up in the tap, this refers to what? Stock concept. So stock refers to particular at a particular time period, at particular time period. Okay, so whenever we talk about anything at a particular time period, it relates to stock, whereas flow concept over a period of time, over a period of time, this will refers to what? Flow concept. Okay. Now, what is the difference between supply and quantity supplied? Okay. So, supply is what? Supply, we can say, amount of commodity when producers is willing to sell. When producer is willing to sell at different possible price. Okay. So, supply refers to amount of goods that producers willing to sell at different civil price. Okay, but talking about quantity supplied, so quantity supplied is what? So quantity is supplied refers to a specific quantity, specific price. Okay, so this is same as demand and quantity demanded, but here supply does matter. Okay, here supply is related. That's we will talk in the terms of supply. So a specific quantity at a specific price. So quantity supplied refers to a specific amount commodity a producer is willing to sell is willing to sell at specific price of a commodity. So this is the difference between supply and quantity supply. Okay. Now, another term that came across, that is supply schedule. So what does it mean schedule first? Let me know. That schedule means whenever whenever the relationship, as we all know that supply shows what? Relationship between price and quantity. Okay. So whenever we see the relationship of price and quantity in the form of table, then we can say this is what? Schedule. Okay. This is what? Schedule. So let's suppose that this is what? This is unit. Okay, and this is price. This is what? This is quantity. Let's suppose this is x variable or x unit of goods. Okay, so when a producers just want to produce 1 unit of x, okay, 1 unit of x at price 10. Okay, so this will be what? 10. And let's suppose 2 unit of x, okay, let's suppose at 15 price, this will something like 30, and so on. So this will say this, we can see that this is the form, this is the schedule basically represent in the form table which shows the relationship between price and quantity itself. That's why we can say schedule. Now what is supply schedule? So supply schedule is basically, just we can say, when producers is willing to sell a amount of output at different possible price, then we can see that supply schedule. So there are actually two kinds of supply schedule, that is market or individual supply schedule. Okay, and another market supply schedule. Okay, so talking about first that what is individual supply schedule. In what situation we can say this is, yes, this is individual supply schedule indicating. Okay, so individual supply schedule, it refers the name itself referring that individual is what? A particular entity, a single entity, whenever a single producer, whenever ready to sell, okay, whenever ready to sell at a particular price or at a different price, then we can say this is showing what? Individual supply schedule. Okay, so individual supply schedule refers to supply schedule of an individual producer, as I told, that individual entity or single entity. Okay, single entity or single producers, then we can say individual supply schedule. And market supply schedule, whenever we do summation of all the individuals, we get market supply. Okay, so let's discuss first about individual supply schedule. Individual supply schedule refers to supply schedule supply schedule of an individual producer or a firm in the market. It shows different quantities which a firm is willing to sell at different price. So as I told that this shows the relationship between price and quantity. So we can say, drawing a table. So we can say that this is what? This is price and this is quantity. So let's suppose producers just want to produce at price 5 zero units. Okay, what 0 units? That we can say that at price 5, no producers or no individual producers, because this price is very low. And let me tell you one thing, I will discuss also the minimum supply price. Okay, which is also known as like a reservation price. So basically, let me tell you in a brief, in a short, that reservation price is nothing but a minimum price below which a producer is not ready to sell his output. Okay, so this will refers to minimum supply price, or you can also say that reservation price. Okay, so remove it this first, and let's do discuss the supply or market supply schedule. Okay, or market schedule. So at price 10, output is what? 10. At price 15, output will be 20. So quantity will be 20. So at this price, no one producers or no producers is ready to sell. Okay, and at price 10 rupees, at price 10 rupees, producers are able to or producers 10 quantity, and so on. So this is what, this is as we talking about individual perspective. So we are talking with individual perspective. We are talking with individual perspective. Therefore, it is known as individual supply schedule. Now, another another points, that is market supply schedule. Now, what is market supply schedule? As I told, that it be to summation of all those individual individual supply schedule, we get in the form of market supply schedule. So this is also showing the same relationship between price and quantity supplied. So basically, in the form of table, we can see that all the whenever all the individuals are getting sum up, then we can see there is market supply schedule. So market supply schedule refers to supply schedule supply schedule of all firms, producers in the market producing a particular commodity, producing particular commodity. Okay, so this is the definition of market supply schedule. Now, if we see that what would be the shape of each individual supply schedule and market supply schedule, how these curves will look like. Okay, so talking about the graph, that how this graph will look like if talking about individual supply schedule. So let's do, this is what, this is individual supply schedule. Okay, let's assume, or let's take that there are two individual supply schedule. Okay, this is showing that at price 5, 0, at price 5, 0 output or 0 quantity of supplies the producers are willing to sell. But as we move on, as we go up from 5 to 10, producers are just willing to sell 10 units of output or quantity. As we move again, we can say, so this curve is little bit by mistakenly I did not draw good. So just wait, let me just tilt it. Okay, so now this is what, this is right. So at price 5, no output, producers are willing to sell. As we move up, as we go up, at price 10, producers are willing to sell 10 units of goods. Okay, as we move again, as we move up, at price 15, producers are willing to sell 20 units of output. So this is showing the positive relationship between price and quantity supplied. Okay, so this is quite different from demand curve. Demand curve basically showing a negative relationship or an inverse relationship between price and quantity. Okay, but talking about supply itself showing a positive relationship. Okay, so this is what? This is individual and this is also a individual. So let's suppose this is B and this is A. So if we do summation A and B, we will get what? We will get market supply curve. So this will be quite like a flatter as compared to those of the individual supply schedule. Okay, so this becomes quite flatter. Okay, so at say at 5, at price 5, no producers are again willing to sell. But as we move up at price 10, at price 10, 15 units. As price 15, let's suppose 30 units. Because why there's a bigger difference between market supply schedule and individual supply schedule? Because this is the summation of individual supply schedule, that is A and B. This is the summation of A and B supply schedule. That's why we are able to see a huge difference between price and quantity supplied. Okay, now, so another point or term that we get, slope of supply curve. What is the slope of supply curve? So, as you all know that supply curve normally slopes upward. Okay, it goes like this, as we all know. This goes like this, upward direction, indicating a positive relationship, as I told earlier, between price of commodity and its quantity supplied. So, slope of supply curve refers to what? Ratio of change in price and change in quantity supplied. So, this is the ratio of slope. So, if we say that what is slope? Slope is nothing but we can say this is the ratio of change in price and change in quantity supplied. Okay. So this showing the positive relationship, and as we all know that slope of a straight line supply curve is constant. Okay, let me tell you one thing, that supply curve, slope of supply curve is constant. Or we can also say that showing a linear relationship between price and quantity supplied. Okay. Now, another point, I think this is the last one, and then tomorrow itself we will discuss about the law of supply curve and many more points. Okay. So supply function, or we can also say determinants. What does it mean, determinants referring? So determinants basically refers to that what kind of supply or how supply basically determine, what are those factors that is responsible to have a supply. Okay, so the the first is that EPC, that supply is a function of what? PX, that is refers to price of goods, PR, that is related to price of related goods, and F, that is showing number of firms in the industry, G, that is showing goal of the firm, and if we say that PF, that is saying price of factors of production, T, that is showing state of technology, and okay, EX, showing expected future price, and last one is GP, that is showing government policy. So here we can see there are so many determinants that determine the supply. Now let's discuss and let's dealing with one by one, that is price of price of a commodity. So discuss that how the own price of a commodity determine supply. So there is a direct relationship between own price of a commodity and its quantity supplied, as we all know. That is the showing positive relationship. Okay, positive relationship between quantity supplied and price. Generally, higher the price lets the producers or gives incentive or motivation to increase the quantity supplied. Okay, so higher the supply, higher the price, higher the quantity, higher the quantity supplied, and lower the price, lower the quantity supplied. What this definition is basically saying that if the price is higher, if price of good is very high, this will give incentives to producers that produce more of the output or that produce more of the commodity. So as we all know that showing a positive, having a positive relationship, as price move upward, quantity supplied also go in that same direction. Quantity supplied will also go in the same direction. That means it will also go upward direction. Okay, so as we can see, this is showing what this is positive relationship. Now if price is going down, okay, then producers are not getting any kind of motivation to produce more of the output. Okay, if prices is less, then automatically quantity that is supplied by producers will automatically go down. Quantity supplied by producers will automatically go down. So as we can see that if price is going down, quantity supplied by producers also going down. So this is also showing a positive relationship. So in conclusion, it implies that price and quantity supplied showing a direct relationship. Okay. Now second point, price of related goods. Price of related goods. So before going through this term, let me tell you first what is price of related goods and what kind of goods will fall in this category. Okay, so price of related goods we can say substitute goods and complementary goods. Complementary goods. So substitute goods what? Substitute goods are those goods which can be substituted, instead of other. And complementary goods, this is just can be used together. Okay, like let's suppose that uh, petrol and car. Okay, so if you have car, then it might if you have car, then it will obviously then you will have definitely you have petrol. Okay, and we can also say that two pair shoes. This will also comes in the category of complementary goods. That if you have left shoes, you will have definitely right shoes. Okay. Now, what is the substitute goods? Substitute goods is an example of tea and coffee. Okay. So let's suppose that if the price of coffee goes up, the price of coffee goes up, the quantity of tea will automatically go. Okay, the demand of tea will automatically go up. Okay, so this is what substitute goods, because people are not affording to buy a coffee, they will definitely switch to coffee. They will definitely switch to tea from coffee. So this is what substitutes, people are just doing substitutes. Okay, now if you see that how the price of related goods determine the supply. Now, supply of goods depends upon price of related goods. Okay, supply of goods. So if we write it down, that supply of goods depends upon price of related goods. Consider a firm selling tea. Let's suppose that a firm is selling tea, and let's assume that if price of coffee rise in the market, the firm will be selling to sell less tea. Okay, let's suppose that if price of coffee goes up, goes up. So being a seller or being a producer, you will automatically switch to coffee. Okay, switch to coffee, and the producers start selling off. Yeah, producers start producing to coffee. Okay, so here is showing that of coffee quantity supplied of coffee by producers is going up. Okay, so this is going up, and now let's suppose that price of tea goes up. Now what happens? Now let's take another perspective, that if price of tea goes up, then automatically producer will switch to producer will switch to producing tea. Okay, why? Because price of tea is just going up. Okay, therefore being a producer or being a rational producer, we will automatically shift to producing tea. So this is showing what price of related goods. In this way, we can say that price of related goods determine the supply. Now, in the third, number of firm in the industry. Number of firms in the industry. How we can say that number of firms basically determines supply? Of course, let's suppose there's a small market, and there are mostly four seller or producer just willing to sell output or producing output. Okay, now what happened after few days, more people, just more, or we can say 10 or 20 people just adding as like acting as like a seller or producers. So 20 sellers. Now what happened? Or we can also say producer. Now what happened? The quantity supplied by producers has gone up. Okay, has gone increased. So we can say number of firms also matters for being increase in quantity supplied. Here are four sellers or producers are producing goods but limited supply. Okay, but as producers adding up in the market, quantity supplied by producers gone or increased. Okay, so in this way we can see number of firms matter to we can say to determine the supply. Now, third one is the goal of firm. Fourth one, not third one, goal of the firm. Goal of the firm, how will basically determine the supply. Okay, so if goal of the firm is to maximize profit, if goal of the firm is maximize profit, more quantity of commodity will be offered only at a higher price. Okay. On the other hand, we can also see that if goal of the firm is to maximize sales, maximize output or employment, more will be supplied even at same price. Okay, let's suppose that there can be two situations. First one is what? Just want to increase profit or increase sales revenue, sales. Okay, what can happen in this situation? First, so in situation first, if the producers want to increase his profit, we can say that price will be greater than quantity supplied. Okay, then quantity supplied. This will be the first case. And in second case, we can say that price would be less and quantity supplied will be more. Quantities supplied by producers will be high and will be very great. Okay, so in this situation, that in order to increase sales or revenue from the side of producers, from the end of producers, price just producers just decided to just keep the price minimum level and just increase the output level, increase this sales. So in this way, producers are also able to maximize his sales revenue. So there can be two situations as I discussed. Fourth, price of factors of production. Prices of factors of production. So this is another determinant that determines supply. So what is price of factors of production? Let me discuss first the term factors of production. Factors of production basically refers to land, capital, entrepreneurship, and we can also say land, labor, yeah, land, labor. So there are four factors of production: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. So how prices of these factors determine supply? Okay, so supply of food commodities also affected price of the factors used for the production of commodity. Let's suppose land or labor. Let's suppose not land but labor. Let's take an example of labor. Labor. Okay, so we all know that labor is what input cost. Okay, so if say that at 100 rupees, producers are just able to hire producers are just able to hire labor, but the cost of labor or the wages has gone up just 200. So this will automatically add up in what sense? Cost. And this basically refers to what? This will basically, therefore, due to this increase in cost, it will impact to price of the commodity. प्राइस ऑफ कमोडिटी को इम्पैक्ट करेगी. ठीक है, अब जैसे ही प्राइस इंक्रीज हुआ तो अब क्या हुआ, क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड भी ज़्यादा हो गया, बिकॉज एज वी ऑल नो दैट शोइंग ए पॉजिटिव रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन प्राइस एंड क्वांटिटी सप्लाई. तो क्या हुआ कि जैसे ही लेबर का दाम बढ़ा, लेबर का वेजेस बढ़ गया, 100 से 200 हो गया, अब ये कहाँ जाकर ऐड होगा, कॉस्ट में. फिर ये कॉस्ट किसको इम्पैक्ट करेगा, डेफिनेटली प्रोड्यूसर्स अपना कॉस्ट निकालना चाहेंगे तो किस में ऐड करेंगे, प्राइस में. और ये प्राइस इंक्रीज होने के कारण जैसे ही गुड्स का प्राइस इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो क्या होगा, ये क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड और इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. तो दिस इज द केस. एंड द सिक्स्थ वन, state of technology. Okay, so how we can say that state of technology will help to determine supply. So state of technology improvement, we can say if technology has got improved. So improvement in the technique of production, technique of production reduces cost, reduces cost of production. Okay, जैसे मान लीजिए कि कोई कंपनी में एक कंपनी में जो टेक्निक यूज हो रही थी प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस के लिए, उसकी कॉस्ट क्या होगी या टेक्निक क्या होगी, इम्प्रूव हो गई. तो जैसे ही टेक्निक में इम्प्रूवमेंट हुआ तो कॉस्ट भी क्या होगा, रिड्यूस हो जाएगा, क्योंकि कॉस्ट लागत जो वो कम लगेगी, कॉस्ट विल रिड्यूस्ड ऑटोमेटिकली. ओके, सो consequently we can see more of the commodity is supplied at existing price. So more of the quantity is supplied at existing price. अब जैसे ही कॉस्ट कम हुआ तो क्या हुआ, मोर ऑफ द क्वांटिटी सप्लाई, ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोड्यूसर जो है क्वांटिटी को सप्लाई करेगा. नाउ 7, एक्सपेक्टेड future price. Now, in what sense we can say that expected futures will also helps to determine supply. So this is also true that expected future price will automatically or will definitely helps out to determine supply. So if producer expect price of the commodity to rise, okay, so let's suppose that you are a producer and you think that the price of the commodity might be increased tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, okay, but at the expected price. So we can say that current supply will automatically increase, okay. So current supply of the commodity current supply of the commodity will reduce. प्रोड्यूसर एक्सपेक्ट करता है कि फ्यूचर में, आने वाले फ्यूचर में क्या होगा, प्राइस बढ़ेगा ही बढ़ेगा. तो वो क्या करेगा, अभी के लिए फिलहाल करेंट पोजीशन में क्या करेगा, सप्लाई को कम कर देगा ताकि वो फ्यूचर में ज्यादा से ज्यादा सप्लाई करे एट हाई प्राइस पे, सो दैट कैन गेट मोर प्रॉफिट और रेवेन्यू. Okay, and let's suppose on the other hand, fall in the price is expected. Tomorrow or that after 10 days, producers is expecting that price of the commodity will go down. Okay, so in that case current supply will increase. Okay, so producers expecting the price of commodity will go down, then current supply will increase. Okay, so this is the in this way we can say there. The last one, that government policy. Government policy. So we all know that taxation and subsidy. We will see that how taxation and subsidy will impact the supply. Okay. So if we see that taxation, that government also it will impact the supply as government imposes taxation. Okay, increase in taxation may decrease supply. Okay, while increase in subsidy may increase it. क्या होता है कि यदि टैक्सेशन गवर्नमेंट ने इम्पोज कर दिया, गवर्नमेंट imposed taxes, okay, then in that case we can say supply will reduce. And बात सब्सिडी की करें, it will help to increase supply. Okay, अगर गवर्नमेंट सब्सिडी लगाती है, सब्सिडी देती है, तो उससे क्या होगा, प्रोड्यूसर्स को मदद मिलेगी सप्लाई को इंक्रीज करने में. So this is all about that how what are the functions of the supply curve, how supply basically determines what are the major factors. So tomorrow we will talk about the law of supply curve. Fine, thank you.